Okay, good afternoon now as it is. So it's 12 o'clock. So welcome to our 12 p.m. webinar and happy Saturday, everyone. So if some of you are continuing from the last one, you know me. So my name is Lisa. I'm from Ireland and I'm one of the teachers at MIS Milano Meravigli. Okay. So I'm joined today for this webinar by Danielle. So Danielle, would you like to introduce yourself to the lovely people?
Hi guys, I'm Danielle and I'm Australian and I'm one of the teachers at MIS Meravigli in Milan. So Lisa and I are colleagues, and yes, and I've been at the school for about 18 months, so quite a while. But I had a baby about 9 months ago, so I was on maternity leave, and I've just come back last month. So I'm back at the school, which is great to be back.
Perfect. Okay, excellent. So yeah, guys, so hello, Antonio, you've been here before, so hello. And guys, we want this to be interactive. So please write to us, let us know your name, where you are. Okay, so we're going to ask you to answer some questions and ask us questions as well throughout the webinar.
Exactly.
Okay, so please say hello.
Hi, Bruno.
Okay. Hello, Bruno. Okay, so tell us where you are.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So what we're going to be talking about for this hour is family ties.
Right.
Okay, family ties. Okay, fantastic. So we have Andrea from Bologna.
Welcome.
Hello.
So maybe to start with, what does family ties mean? This is an expression in English. All right, we talk about family ties. Lisa, or does anyone know at home? If you know, let us know.
Exactly. So what does it mean by family ties? Okay, family ties. Am I wrong in saying I think it used to be an American TV show as well, Family Ties?
It did, and it had Michael J. Fox on it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a very, very 80s show. Yeah. I used to think it was funny. I used to like it.
Yeah, I remember
some
clips. He's lovely. He's so nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good morning, Mattia. Hello. Okay, so guys, let us know if you know what it means. So I would say, because ties, sometimes if we think of, okay, fantastic. So Bruno says family ties is like saying kinship, relationships. I would probably say, so tie is like a link or connection. Okay, connection. Okay, so because a tie, it's when you actually attach something to another. Okay, when you attach two things together to tie something. So in this case, ties, it's like what connects you or what holds your family together.
Yeah.
Okay, what connects you. So it's kind of the links in your family. Hello, Michaela. Hello, Lorenzo. Fantastic joining us again. Amazing. Okay, and what would you say, Danielle, about family ties?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think family ties are, we can say, what links a family together, or also the bonds. So we can say the bonds.
Exactly, the bonds of the family.
Yeah, a bond is like the connection between something. All right.
Exactly. Okay. Really good. Excellent. So what we're going to look at in this. So we're going to practice describing your family dynamics. Okay, family dynamics. Okay, and then also asking and answering questions about your family. Okay. Does anyone know what does it mean here by family dynamics? Okay, family dynamics. What are family dynamics? How could we define it? Okay.
Dynamics.
Okay, so wait to see, but yeah, like dynamics. So if we think of, we can also say like someone is dynamic, but that's a different usage of dynamic. Okay, Okay. It's hard to wait.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a delay in the chat. So
this is a good one.
Okay.
Fantastic. Yeah, Francesca, well done. Yeah.
Great, Francesca.
It's you don't need the question mark, it's a statement. Yeah, it's how you and your relatives act. Okay? So sometimes the dynamics in a family might be very tumultuous, okay? Might be very dramatic. Maybe a family, everyone is very opinionated and everyone sort of shouts all the time. In this case, that's the family dynamics, okay? It's very loud. Yeah. It's maybe a little bit aggressive sometimes. That's the family dynamic. My family is very calm, okay? My family is very calm and people are quite nice to each other. So that's a very different dynamic. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's how the people in the family relate to each other. Yeah, so just as Daniela was saying, not just like how you actually relate because of the similarities, but also how you act together when you're together. Okay, so the family dynamic. Okay, really good. That's excellent. So to practice, so some of the more, as we would say, maybe obscure family members, or the ones that are maybe harder to say in English, we want to try and practice. So who is it? Okay, who is it? So who is it? So if we're looking at these, we want you to tell us the name. Okay, so for example, okay, my father. Okay, father. Okay, so what that person is called, or sister. But these ones are more complicated. Okay, they're not like your direct family. Okay, they're more the extended family, the extended. So if I say Max is the brother of my mother. Okay, he's the brother of my mother. He is my. So guys, we want you to write who is Max. He's the brother of my mother. So what do we call him? This one is exactly fantastic. Really good. Okay, he is my uncle.
Yeah. Well done, Bruno. Well done, Lorenzo. All right, a few of you guys getting that right. Okay.
Fantastic.
Number two, so Jill is my husband's sister. So she is my...
Okay, so this one's a bit more difficult.
All right, Jill is my husband's sister. Okay, someone has said auntie. No. So remember, Jill, we should say, Jill is a woman's name. All right, so it's a woman. Yes,
actually. Yeah, just to mention, yeah, Jill is a woman's name.
So think about it. And she is a sister, all right? So obviously it's a girl. Some people have said brother-in-law. No. So
Jill is a woman.
And a brother-in-law is a man. You're very close. You guys definitely know it.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm waiting for someone to type it in because I know you know. Not a brother-in-law, but a... Hurrah! Well done, Lorenzo.
Hey, fantastic.
Okay.
And Bruno, fantastic. Sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay, so she is my sister-in-law.
So you guys know that in English, obviously in Italian, I know we have some French and Spanish students watching, but for the Italians, for the family members of your husband or wife, you have a different word for each of them. In English, it's much easier. We use the word plus in-law. So you have mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, son-in-law, daughter-in-law. All right? So it's a lot easier.
Yeah, because it means in-law is like through marriage. Yeah. Okay, through marriage. Okay, so if you think of it that way, so anything that is anyone who is related to you through marriage is in-law.
Yeah.
Okay, in-law. Okay, so number 3, Brett is the son of my brother.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, fantastic.
Bruno, well
done. Fantastic. So Bruno, that's brilliant. He is my nephew. Okay, nephew. Okay, fantastic. So nephew is the male version. Okay, nephew.
And what's the female version?
Danielle?
What's the female? So we have nephew is the male version. What's the female version? Does anyone know? Type it in.
Yeah, the female version. Because we have a male and female version.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe while we're waiting, we can go on. So number 4. Oh, go, Lisa, go.
No, you go. It's your turn.
Carly is my daughter's daughter. Okay, so Carly is my daughter's daughter. She is my number 3. Remember, Carly is a girl. All right. So, who is this? Yeah, granddaughter.
Fantastic.
Well done, Bruno. Fantastic. Well done.
Really good. Yeah. So she is my granddaughter.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone has typed it in. Maybe we just
No.
haven't got it yet. But back to the female. So the female version of nephew. In English, it's called niece. Okay, niece. So for example, my own brother has 2 children. So one boy who is my nephew and one girl who is my niece. Okay, my niece.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Great. And then, so number 5. So Henry, okay, so this is a boy, Henry, is the son of my mother and her second husband.
This
Okay.
is a hard one.
Her second husband, okay? He is my... Does anyone know?
Yeah, this might be a bit hard. I think even for English speakers, they get this wrong sometimes. It's a bit of a hard one.
This is true. So no, he's not my grandson.
No. Okay. All right, I can. Oh, do we say
exactly?
He's my half brother.
Half brother.
Right?
Exactly.
Reason. Okay, so Francesca has said my stepbrother. And do you know what? This is, I think that half brother is better because it's, you have one parent in common. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and usually the mother as well. But yeah, so if you have one parent in common, then you can say a half brother or half sister. But I think you could also say stepbrother. What do you think?
Yeah, I think maybe... I think in my experience, I think maybe stepbrother, stepsister is more US English. So maybe it's used more in America, whereas we would often say half brother, half sister. Okay. But yeah, I understand what you mean. I think it's just maybe we would use it a bit differently.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I've seen it more in America as like step.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
what about number 6 though? So Hannah is the daughter of my father's new wife, right? So it's, you don't have the same parent, all right? So it's like my mum marries someone else, another man, and he has a daughter. How are we related? What are we called in this situation?
Yeah. Okay. So Francesca's saying she heard stepbrother in an American TV series. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in this situation, it's a stepbrother. I don't know how you use it, Lisa, and how you guys use it in Ireland. So because it's definitely step because you don't have a parent in common.
Yeah.
Your parents
exactly.
are separate. Yeah.
I think, to be honest, I've heard it confusingly. That's what I'm saying. I've heard it confusingly in American TV. But yeah, half brother would be that you're one of your parents is related.
Yeah.
Whereas step, it's like more related just through marriage.
Yeah.
But they're
separate. Yeah.
Yeah. Separated. But yeah, because I think sometimes maybe in America they use it in a different way to us.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Often the case.
Yeah.
All right. Well done, guys.
Really good. So yeah. So the number 6, just to clarify, guys, so that is the sister. She is my stepsister. No, it's fine. So yeah, so because this one she is the daughter of my father's new wife, so there is no relation. So she is called the stepsister. Stepsister. Okay, so usually that's how we would use stepsister, stepdaughter. They're just through marriage. Okay, just through marriage. Okay, so guys, let us know if you have questions or you have any comments. Okay, so we're going to look at some family phrasal verbs. Okay, so some family phrasal verbs. And as we're going through them, some of them relate to upbringing. Okay, some of them relate to upbringing, and some of them relate to inherit. So when you inherit something. So maybe should we explain what upbringing is first of all?
That's a good idea. So your upbringing
Okay.
means how you are raised, all right? So things about the environment that you grew up in or you're raised in, or the situation, okay? How you're cared for. It explains the situation in general, but it's things external to you, okay? It's not internal things, it's external things. All right, that's your upbringing in general. But inherit, what does inherit mean, Lisa?
Exactly. So to inherit something is usually when, like we would often say, to get something. So when you, for example, you could inherit a characteristic, or even you could inherit something physical from your parents or your family. Okay, because inheritance, for example, is something that is given to you from a relative or from a parent. So it's something that you are given, usually through DNA, or it can actually be given to you as a gift as well, but it's usually after the person dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's given through exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so as Danielle said, upbringing is more external, outside of your control, whereas inherit is something internal that you get through biology. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so looking at these phrasal verbs. So to bring up, okay. So I think it's very obvious which one this relates to. Okay. So to bring up relates to
Does anyone know?
okay, upbringing. Okay. But just to maybe use it as an example. Okay, so for example, okay, yeah, so Mauro has said to raise a child, okay, to bring up a child. Fantastic. So yeah, so even you can use this as like I was brought up in Ireland. Okay, it's like I was raised in Ireland. Okay, I was raised in Ireland.
Hold on. We've got a question here from Bruno, and I think it means bring up when I call someone. I think that's ring up. So it's something different. Yeah. So ring up. Yeah. If you ring up someone, you call them on the phone. All right. So it's slightly different.
Exactly. Yeah, like if I say I'm going to ring up my friend, I'm going to call them. So yeah, it sounds very similar, but ring is to call, and to bring up is different. So like to be raised. So really good example, Mauro. I was brought up by my grandmother. Exactly. I was raised by my grandmother.
Yeah, well done.
Okay, very good. And so does anyone know, so to take after, does anyone know to take after if this relates to inherit or does it relate to upbringing? Which one does it relate to?
Anyone know? If you take after someone. Inherits. Well done. Andrea has got it right.
Very good. Exactly. Okay. Take after anyone in your family?
Yes. Yeah, I do in different ways. I take after both my mum and my dad in my personality and my capabilities.
Okay.
And yeah, so maybe something.
Really good. Okay, excellent. Sorry, I'm just fantastic.
That's okay. We'll just get the screen back for you guys.
Okay, exactly. 1 second, we're just fixing this. I'm going to stop it for a second so we have our lovely faces on the screen.
Guys, let us know where you're from. A few of you guys haven't let us know. We can see how many people are watching and it's lots. You need to tell us where you are. We're sitting in Milan where it's cloudy and not a very nice day. I hope it's a bit
Exactly.
nicer wherever you guys are.
Okay.
Even if you
So
are homebound.
there we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to
Fantastic.
take
So yeah.
after.
So yeah.
To take after means to be similar to an older family member. Now, this can be your parents, but it can also be your auntie, your uncle, or your grandparents. All right, and it can mean how you look, so your appearance, but it can also mean your qualities, your personality, your characteristics. All right, it means all of those things. So physical and on the inside. Right.
Exactly. So yeah, so it can be both. So not just who you look like, but also your personality as well, and also even your skills. For example, if I was to say, so my grandmother was a baker, and I love to bake too. So I could say I take after her in that respect. Okay,
exactly.
because it's like your interests, your skills, different things like this.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Antonio, yeah, my little brother takes after me. Yeah, you can say it this way as well. So someone takes after you. Okay, really good. So then the next one is to raise or to be raised. Okay, to raise or to be raised. So which one does this relate to? Please let us know.
We've already spoken about it. I think it was
my
brother has already said. So I'm sure you guys know the answer to this one.
Exactly. Sorry, I just gave it away.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I think so too. Right?
Yeah.
So you raise someone or you bring them up. It means the same thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well done, Francesca.
So yeah, the exact same. If I say I was brought up in Ireland, I was raised in Ireland, has the same meaning. Or as Giordano is saying, you raised me up. Okay. Okay.
Next one. All right. This is a great one.
Fantastic.
All right. To run in the family. Right. This is also like a saying in general. All right. You say something runs in the family. So for an example, all right, being very sporty runs in my family. Okay. Everyone plays lots of sport.
Yeah. So our director of studies has just confused Maro. Because, okay, just to clarify, you don't say, when we're talking about family, you don't say up after, okay? What our director has said is you raise me up, which is a song, which literally means like you do this to me. That's physical, okay? Whereas when we're using the phrasal verb, thank you, Giordano, for absolutely making a mess. We just say to raise, okay? To raise, or they raised me, okay? They raised me. Okay, my parents raised me, or my grandmother raised me. So yeah, good question. We don't use up.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's only with bring. So raise is not a phrasal verb. Raise is a normal verb. It's just one word. All right. Bring up is a phrasal verb and they mean the same thing. All right.
Exactly. Thank you for the confusion. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. So to run in the family. So yeah, being sporty runs in my family. All right. Lisa, does something run in your family?
I think creativity runs in my family. We're all quite creative. So I definitely think it in different ways. So I think the creativity runs in our family in different ways. Like, for example, my uncle and some of my cousins are quite musical. I'm quite artsy. My brothers are quite creative with writing. So just in different ways.
Okay.
But yeah.
So what do you guys reckon? So if something runs in your family, is it about an external thing and your situation, your environment, or is it internal? Is it something you inherit from the older people in your family? What do you think?
Okay, let us know what you think.
Something else I'll say in the meantime. This can be something physical. So for example, brown hair runs in my family. All right. Brown eyes run in my family. Or it can be a quality, like we we're saying. So creativity or being sporty. It can be both things. All right. I think maybe you guys know the answer. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
5, 4,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's inherit. Okay, it's something you inherit. Something that runs in the family. Okay, something that runs in the family. It's something you inherit. So usually through DNA. Okay, it's a common characteristic. Okay, really good. And also like with something that runs in the family, it's like learned behavior, would we say, like learned behavior? Because if your parents are interested in something, they probably get you to actually to be interested in that too, or you're around it a lot when you're growing up.
Yeah. Okay.
Busy.
Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah.
You can answer.
So yeah, no, because to be busy, sometimes we would say like to run around. So I'm doing a lot of running around at the moment because I'm busy. I need to do a lot of things. But in this case, to run is more like it's a characteristic that is common. Okay, it's a characteristic that we all have. So it doesn't literally mean to run or to be busy. So yeah, it's more like we all share that common characteristic or that common thing.
Yeah.
Okay, does that make sense?
That was for Bruno's question.
Yes. And then, so to look after. Okay, to look after. Does anyone know what this might mean? So does it relate to inherit or upbringing? This one is a little bit confusing.
Francesca's got it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, really good, Francesca.
Oh, and Lorenzo. Exactly. Sorry, Loredana and also Lorenzo and Francesca. Well done, all three of you. I can delete.
Amazing. Exactly. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well done, guys. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So to look after is to take care of. So for example, sometimes people when they're younger, they maybe have to look after their younger brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe when their parents are working or something like this. Or to look after an older family member as well, to take care of.
You can also, guys, so think about the difference between bring up and look after, because they are similar. They are similar. But to bring up is the person who is responsible for the child. All right. So my parents brought me up. All right. But to look after can also be for temporary periods. So, for example, like what Lisa said, so maybe one afternoon, your parents are at work and you have a little brother or sister. You look after your brother or sister. You can also look after, Francesca's asked, so you can also look after sick people. So maybe your auntie is ill, she's sick, and you need to go and help her. You look after her. You can also look after things like plants. All right?
Yeah.
So if you have plants, you need to look after your plants. Right? You need to be kind to them. So look after is more general and it can be temporary, whereas to bring up is forever, right? Or at least until someone's an adult.
Exactly. So I could also say, like, while my brother is on holidays, I'm looking after his dog.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking after. So that's temporary. Just really, really good. Excellent. Okay, and then the last one. Okay, and let us know if you have any other questions, guys. The last one is to get something from. Okay, to get something from. So what do we think this relates to?
Yeah, Bruno, sorry, just to go back for a second, guys. So Bruno's asked, can I say, I look after your dog? Yep, you can say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then another.
Or if it's a question, you could say, will I look after your dog? Or do you need me to look after your dog?
Yeah, exactly. All right. So Magra's asked, can you make an example about running the family? And Antonio has an example. To be bald, must run in my family. Okay. So bald means no hair. All right. So no hair. All right. So it's a quality that runs in the family. So
Exactly.
Magra,
So
like we said, yeah, Lisa, your family.
sorry. Yeah, like I said, creativity runs in my family. Creativity runs in my family. Okay. And Danielle, your example?
So being sporty. So playing lots of sport, run and being good at sport runs in my family. All right. We're all sports people. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So yeah, so in that case, we use the runs plural because we're talking about it's like third person. It runs in my family, so it's like the third person there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Last one.
Yeah. So I think Francesca
maybe has defined it. I think.
Sort of. Yeah. But also to get is like okay. So yes, but it's also like you were given this. It's almost like you're given the same characteristic.
Yeah. So which one does it belong in, guys? Is it upbringing or inherit? To get something from someone.
I think we'll do a countdown here as well. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, amazing. Thank you, Mattia. Okay.
Yeah.
So so we would say to have to get something from another. Exactly, to get something from another family member. Okay, so not in a physical way, but more like we said, inherit. Okay, inherit that characteristic.
Yeah. So it's something you inherit, guys. All right, it belongs in the second category. So
yeah. So Francesca gave a good example there. So yeah, yeah, I know it jumps. My son got this from me. Amazing. Yeah. So like, if your son has blonde hair and you have blonde hair, he got his blonde hair from me.
Yeah.
Okay. So, similar to he inherited.
Right. So my son has the same eyes as me. This part is exactly the same. So he got that from me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. And then Margaret's asked a good question. To get something from them, anything from them, including personality. Yeah, it can be personality again, or a skill, or your appearance. It can be any of them.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Like a very common one that some families say is like, oh, my son gets his stubbornness from me. Okay, so that's a characteristic, to be stubborn. He gets his stubbornness from me. So yeah, just if you don't know, so to be stubborn is like you can't let something go. Okay, you're maybe very difficult in an argument. Okay, you're a difficult person to argue with. So yeah, it can be any characteristic.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well done, guys.
Okay. Really good. That's fantastic. So great questions. Thank you for your questions and for your answers as well. Okay, so we'll go on to look piece here. Okay, so actually what we might do, I'll show the questions before we read. Okay, there we go. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we have some questions on the side. Okay, some questions on the side that we want you to answer while we're reading. Okay, so the questions are: where was Alice raised? Who raised Alice? How was she brought up? And who did she look like, or who did she look after? Sorry, who did she look after when she was younger? Okay, so Danielle, would you like to read this?
Yes. And then we'll go to
Or do you want me
Antonia's
to?
question. No, I'll read it. I'll read it. Okay, so Full
Okay,
House.
sorry.
Alice was raised in a small town outside of Chicago. Her mum raised her and her 4 siblings to be independent, caring, and helpful. When she was younger, she often looked after her younger siblings. For years, her mum has tried to raise them to be religious too, since she was brought up in a very religious household. As teenagers, Alice and her siblings have rebelled against their religious upbringing. Now, there's some interesting vocabulary in here, maybe some new words. And Antonio's asked a good question, which I thought we should talk about. Siblings. What does siblings mean? Does it mean son and daughter, or does it mean something else? What do you guys think? So here we have her mum raised her and her 4 siblings.
Okay, so what does that mean? Who are her siblings?
And maybe we should answer. I think this because it's not a common word. All right, you don't use it very often. It's quite formal and usually written. You never say it. You hardly ever say it. Okay.
Yeah.
So siblings means brothers and sisters together. All right. Yeah, Andrea, well done. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, yeah.
Sisters. Okay.
Yeah, so siblings can be used for male and female, so brothers and sisters together, or just sisters or just brothers.
Right.
Like my brothers, I have 2 brothers, they are my siblings.
Yeah.
Okay.
So siblings. I have 1 brother, I have 1 sibling. All right. It's in general. Okay. Are there any other words in here? There's some interesting words in here, I think.
I think maybe rebelled.
Yeah. So this is
rebelled.
Rebelled is the past participle, so it's ed. But the verb is rebel. What does rebel mean? Yeah. If you rebel.
Yeah. Exactly. Does anyone know? And also, if you want to use it as an adjective, you could be rebellious, a rebellious teenager.
Okay, rebel is the verb.
Very good. Okay, Francesca, fantastic. So, yeah, to go against something.
Yeah.
To go against something. Exactly. To rebel. To go against something. Because, yeah, it's usually to rebel against. So, in this case, they were rebelling against their religious upbringing. And yeah, I guess someone, if they rebel, they're probably not very well behaved.
Yeah.
And yeah, they don't accept the rules.
Yeah.
Usually.
You're all on the right track. I think you all understand what it means.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And someone doesn't accept anything. Well done, guys. All good.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. So any other words? I think probably the rest of them they know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the questions are very straightforward. Where was she raised? Okay, where was Alice raised?
Where was Alice raised, guys? I reckon you know the answers. I think these are pretty simple questions, aren't they?
I think they're probably too simple. It's more just to practice the.
Yeah.
It's the usage. So obviously, in this case, where was she raised? It's similar to where was she brought up? Okay, where was she brought up? Okay. Then who raised her? Okay, so what people? Okay, what person? What people? So if you say who raised you? Okay, perfect. So in this case, her mom raised her. Okay, or her mom raised Alice. We could also say Alice was raised by her mom. She was raised by her mom. Yeah. Perfect. That's fantastic. Exactly. And outside of Chicago.
Yeah, Alice was raised.
And then how was she brought up? So if we ask a person, how were you brought up? Sometimes it's like, what was the situation? Maybe the context of how you were brought up. So for example, in this case, how was she brought up? we would say she was raised or she was brought up in a religious household. Okay, in a religious household.
Okay. Yeah.
So we can say both in this case. Okay. And sometimes people might say, I was brought up in a very relaxed environment, or I was brought up in a very strict family. Lots of different ways you can use this. Okay. And then the last, so exactly, perfect, Francesca.
Yeah, well
That's
done,
excellent.
Francesca. Yep.
Yeah. And who did Alice look after when she was younger? Okay. So who did she care to take care of? So she looked after, so past tense, she looked after her younger siblings. Okay, or she often looked after as well.
All right.
Okay. So any other questions on that before we move on? Please let me know or let us know. Fantastic. Okay, really good. So this just allows you to see the phrasal verbs in context as well.
Okay, well done, guys. Yep.
So I might, really good. So I might jump ahead, that's okay, to take a look here at some practice.
Yes.
Okay, so some practice where we can fill in the spaces.
Yep.
Okay, to fill in the spaces. And the right-hand side, so on the right-hand side, we have the words we want to put in, okay, in red, and you have to decide where they should go. Okay, so you can maybe put numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for where they need to go.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll read through this. Okay, I'll read through it, and you guys decide where these should go. Okay, and I'll just read this with the spaces. I won't tell you. Okay, so I am an only child. I have bright red hair. It something for generations. Okay, and remember, in this case, you might have to change the tense. You might have to change the tense that we're using. Okay, I was raised in South Carolina. So here we have to decide since for I was a baby. My dad's mom, my paternal grandmother, something, me. Okay, by the time I was 3, my parents were divorced. Okay. Since or for, then, my mom, something. Since or for years, I, something, my mom, to find someone to marry. Recently, my dad, something. My stepmom doesn't have any children, and they, something, adopting. Okay, so we already have some answers.
So we have a few people saying runs or sort of runs in the family. All right, guys, yes, but think about the tense. What tense do we use? You're right, that is the right option, but you need to conjugate it. Do we use the present? Think about the situation. Right?
Because in this case, it's for generations.
Yeah.
Okay, for generations. So it's not just right now, it's like da, 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 da.
Yeah. Okay. This slide is, I don't know if you have done it before in a focus, but I've done it a few times, and it's good because it's actually it is difficult. Okay. It's, you might know which word, which option belongs in the space, but to conjugate them, sometimes they are a bit tricky. All right. So it's good because you guys are level 8 to 10. You're very good by this stage. Okay. You guys all know how to speak English. So this is good practice, this slide.
Okay, exactly.
A few people saying,
will we tell?
Yeah, maybe I think we should. Yeah.
Tell them it's a bit difficult. Okay. We would say it has run. Okay, it has run. Okay, really good, Maro.
Well done.
Excellent. So yeah, it
Present
has run,
perfect.
present perfect. It has run in the family for generations because exactly, it started in the past for generations. It started in the past. It is still true in the present. Okay, it is still true in the present. So it's the present perfect.
Well
it
done,
has
guys.
run in the family for generations.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Okay, really good. So yeah, so as Danielle was saying, in this case, we need to conjugate. Okay, we need to conjugate them. Okay, so my paternal grandmother. Okay, perfect. Really good. So I see Mattia answered that already.
I think we have to do since or for. I think that's
Oh, sorry, yeah.
yeah.
You're right. I skipped it. Sorry. Okay, so which one, since or for I was a baby? Which one works?
Which one do we use? We use one for referring to a period. So 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 3 days. And we use the other one for a set time. Okay?
Fantastic.
Well done, guys.
So,
Jessica.
since I was a baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, amazing. Okay.
Well done, guys.
And then, so I think Mattia already said this a while ago. I think Mattia said number 3, I guess. So, my paternal grandmother. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, in this case, looking after him. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess this is because, maybe the person speaking is quite young, but that's not obvious. So I think, Mattia, that counts as being right. I think that's right. You could say that.
Because, because if the person has grown up, they would say, my paternal grandmother looked after me. But in this case, the person is young, so it's still continuing. She has looked after me. Okay, but yeah, that's not clear. Okay, and then we need to look. So by the time I was 3, my parents were divorced. So then here we have to decide since or for then. Which one?
Well done, Antonio. Since then. Mm-hmm. Because it's a point in time. It's a set point in time. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
And then my mom something.
This is a hard one.
So, yeah, this is a bit confusing because you have to look at the whole text. The whole text.
So, yeah, because you've got...
So we're kind of running out of time, so we might just have to...
We might just go through it,
okay. So in this case, it's the negative, okay? It's the negative. So my mom hasn't remarried, okay? Hasn't remarried, okay? Because if you look at the whole text, you can see that the person is kind of telling a story, okay? They're telling a story. So since then, my mom hasn't remarried. And then since or for years, which one?
Which one? So years, is that a set period of time? Sorry, a set point in time, or is it a period of time?
Mm-hmm.
What do we think? For years.
Okay.
I just said it. 4. Well done, Francesca. Okay.
Exactly. It's really hard not to say the answers. Okay. And then I think we'll have to fly through these because we're almost out of time. Okay. So in this case, so I have wanted. So for years, I have wanted. Okay, I have wanted my mom to find someone to marry. But recently, my dad remarried. Okay, my dad has remarried. Okay, and then my stepmom doesn't have any children, and they, okay, so in this case, have considered adopting. Okay, they have considered adopting.
Okay. Well done,
Okay,
guys.
so guys, really good. Do you have any final questions before we finish our webinar? Please let us know.
While you
Okay,
guys are
Danielle, do you want to
writing
tell the guys?
Yes. So while you're thinking of your final questions to type to us, you can also ask questions on this Facebook group, SOS English. And this has been set up basically to help you guys while the schools are closed or classes aren't happening in Italy. So you can type us your questions and a teacher from somewhere in Italy will answer them. You'll get a reply. Okay. So if there's anything we haven't addressed during the webinar, here is an option for you.
Perfect. Okay, amazing.
Don't think we have any
So
questions.
guys, don't think so. But guys, thank you so much for joining us for this Saturday morning and afternoon. It was really lovely to talk to you all, and I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Yeah, that's it from us. There will be more webinars on Monday, so we'll see you then.
Okay, see you guys. Have a nice weekend. Thanks for your comments.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So yeah.